Training camp is underway, and let's talk about some updates. Who's performing? Who's got some ups and downs going on in Carolina? Kansas City Chiefs got two wide receivers. Are we buying the hype on? Justyn Ross, Rashee Rice? I'm going to tell you next on the Locked On NFL Draft Podcast.
You are Locked On NFL Draft, your daily podcast covering the NFL Draft. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, Locked On family? Let's get locked in. Welcome back to the Locked On NFL Draft Podcast, your daily podcast covering your favorite draft prospects, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. It's your boy, Damian Parson, always on the ones and twos. You can find and follow me on Twitter at DP_NFL. I'm a national scout over with the Draft Network, as well as the host of the Locked On Clemson podcast. Guys, thank y'all for making Locked On NFL Draft your first listen today and every day, Monday through Friday. Thank you for being the every single dayers, man, and really being the family for us. We appreciate all the love and support. Now, as you can see, for those watching on YouTube, I am solo dolo. It's just your boy DP, your boy Dame, your boy Damian by himself today while Keith is on the road. He has spent some time with the family. So I said, I'll knock it out. I'll take care of it, Keith. Don't you worry about it, guys. So I still have a fun show. We have Coach 'em Up today on this lovely Tuesday, this glorious Tuesday. We have Coach 'em Up. The Miami Dolphins, Cam Smith, rookie cornerback, expected to have a bigger role this season than anticipated with the Jalen Ramsey injury. So we're going to talk about coaching him up and getting him ready and up to speed. Bryce Young, number one overall pick of the 2023 NFL Draft. Ups and downs in Carolina Panthers training camp for the rookie. We're going to talk about that, as well as we're going to kick the show off. We're going to kick this show off with the reigning, defending Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs. Is Justyn Ross and Rashee Rice for real? Is the hype that's coming out of training camp justified? Are we buying in, family? Family, are we buying into this? I'm going to tell you what I feel. I'm going to tell you what I'm buying. I'm going to tell you what I'm buying in. I'm buying. Give me all the stock. I'm buying in. You know what I mean? I love everything that I've seen. The clips that have come out, right? And let's start with Justyn Ross, right? We know what he was. What was that, 2018? I think it was, right? Like that when they beat Bama, and he has that tremendous game in the national championship and everything. And then after that, it was the injuries. The injuries caught up to him, and we felt like it just derailed it actually derailed this young man's career, because he was headed towards being a bona fide first round pick, potential top 20 type of pick if he was healthy and able to produce for those next 2 years after his freshman season. So like the injury stole a lot from him, but I believe he went undrafted. If I remember correctly, last year, Kansas City Chiefs brought him in, and he started to make some waves in camp last year. I remember people talking about it, and then he landed on IR, right, for the season. We're kind of redshirted basically for the NFL. And now this year, 2023 camp, man, I remember his trainer. I saw a tweet from one of the, I think it's his actual wide receivers coach, his offseason trainer, and talking about he's ready. Remember seeing some stuff on social media prior to camp. And man, you see it with him. You're just seeing a guy that's playing with confidence, not just in his own skill set and ability, but with his body. And I'm going to tell you what I really love and why I'm buying into the hype, guys, is because he's with the first team on a lot of these moments, man. He's with Patrick Mahomes out there. And it's not like he's running routes and Mahomes isn't giving them a shot. Mahomes is like, no, I got me a 6'4", 200+ pound receiver that's playing on the outside. Okay, yeah, I'm going to give you the shot for the 50-50 ball. Show me what you got. I'm going to give you the back shoulder fade, right? Show me what you got. I'm going to give you these type of routes, the curl routes, the comeback routes. And you're seeing him just kind of, send cornerbacks into the shadow realm on Twitter where he runs a comeback and he gives the little, like slight little, somebody's, responding to the tweet today, responding to the tweet that I tweeted out and said, well, that was like a mean push off. He gave him a slight little nudge, right? But so did MJ, right? Against the Jazz, MJ did it. So Justyn Ross could do it too. Okay. We see a lot of guys do it. Come on now. Antonio Brown was the best at it. You know what I mean? Kind of blow by and throw you away and stuff like that, throw you by, whatnot. And you saw him, and he created so much separation on the route. And it wasn't just, he may have given a little nudge, but he sold the vertical drive, right? The drive phase so well that, once he came out of that kind of double move, the slant and go, once he got into the drive phase to go vertical, man, that DB turned and he was ready to roll. So that momentum was already going to take him that way. But Justyn just gave him a little nudge. He's a good friend. He's a good friend. He tried to help him out a little bit. But you saw him be able to, stop on the dime, turn back and come to the ball. But even before the ball gets there, what does he do? He puts his hand behind his back, got the towel back there, and he's wiping his hands, drying them off, makes a clean catch and gets some yards after the catch. But not only that, man, it was a play over the right to the right sideline where Mahomes lobs it up to him and he makes a one-handed grab over the top of the corner, right? Gives another back shoulder fade to him on the left side, right? And you saw just the ball skills, the ability to turn, not little wasted motion or movement, the body control, the turn, get the hands up, late hands, catch the ball, with a defender. And like those are the type of plays that Mahomes hasn't really had a ton of receivers to do those things on the outside, right? To be able to throw that back shoulder fade, throw that 50-50 jump ball and say, go up and get it, big fella. Even if he's not the type of athlete he used to be, it doesn't really matter. So I'm buying in on the Justyn Ross type guys. I think long as he stays healthy, he's already running with the ones. He has Mahomes. Mahomes trusts him, and he's able to showcase separation, nuances, a route runner, great hands. I am buying in. What am I buying in? I'm sorry. Am I buying in on Rashee Rice? Yes, I am. You know what I mean? This is another big, strong, he's 6'1", 200 plus pounds. Yeah, he may not be the most explosive, but he's got enough. He's got enough. You know what I mean? So you think about the roles that he can play. He can play on the outside if you want him to, right? If you think about going to a 5-wide set and you have Ross and Rice, right? Ross and Rice. We're going to Ross and Rice him. I can see it now. So Ross on the outside, Rice on the other, on flanking him on the opposite side, right? You got Kelce as a detached tight end, but in the slots, right? You can have Sky Moore and Kadarius Toney. So you have enough opportunity that's what that situation could look like. But you also, if you wanted to, put Kadarius Toney on the outside or Sky Moore on the outside and put Rashee Rice into that kind of big slot, power slot, juju role that we saw in 2022, and he can work in that way as well. Is he the most dynamic route runner or the most nuanced? No, but this young man has enough speed to win vertically. He's strong and physical. If you want to be physical with him, he's going to fight through the contact, right? Play through the contact and get to his spot and get open and make a tough contested catch. He's one of the best contested catch receivers in college football during the 2022 season. So, again, am I buying in on the Ross and Rice hype? Yes, give it to me. I am buying in, guys, because I truly believe that these are two different body types that actually pair well. We always talk, me and Kid always talk about it. Building the wide receiver room or wide receiver core like a basketball team, right? So if Travis Kelce, if essentially he's your center, cool. Right? Or if he's your power forward, cool. Because then Justyn Ross, well, he'd be the center. Justyn Ross to be the power forward, right? You got your slashing small forward and Rashee Rice, okay? You got your potential. If they stay healthy, you got your shooting guard and Sky Moore. And I think Kadarius Toney could be the point guard of this offense. And then, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. And let Patty Mahomes do his thing, man. So I'm letting you guys know. I am buying into the hype of Ross and Rice, Justyn Ross and Rashee Rice over at the Kansas City Chiefs training camp. Can't wait to preseason, and hopefully these guys stay healthy so we can get a full season out of them both in 2023, guys. When you talk about training camp and we buying into everything, good, bad, so forth and so on, man, we got some Bryce Young news. I've been went to 2 out of the 3 training camp practices last week. Right. And, of course, yesterday as well. So we're going to talk about some ups and downs, especially from the first week of training camp for Bryce Young, coming up next on the Locked On NFL Draft Podcast. Our partners at eBay Motors have teamed up with Locked On Fantasy Football host Vinny Iyer to bring you some of the best fantasy picks each week all season long. Whether you're prepping for a draft or scouting the waiver wire every week, we're going to provide you players that are guaranteed to fit on your roster. So a draft prep underway for the up-and-coming season. Let's see who Vinny has picked out for us on this week's eBay's Guaranteed Fit Fantasy Picks of the Week. Looking to park an elite running back in your fantasy football garage? after the top half dozen options are off the board, listen, you can find a sleek ride in Tony Pollard, now the unquestioned feature in the Dallas Cowboys offense after his breakout 2022 season. Without Ezekiel Elliott, Pollard's speed and acceleration will allow him to dominate key touches in the strong rushing attack. Vinny Iyer from Locked On Fantasy Football is going to help you win your championship. And eBay Motors knows a championship team is about each player being a perfect fit. Same with your vehicle. With eBay Guaranteed Fit and over 122 million parts and accessories for your vehicle right at your fingertips, you can make sure your ride stays running smoothly. Air filters, brakes, batteries, tail lights, alternators, shocks, struts, you name it, eBay Motors has it. And they'll make sure it's the right fit for your car, because eBay Guaranteed Fit helps you understand exactly what part you need for your vehicle the first time. So go forth, switch up the gears, crank up the AC, and say goodbye to sweating if your ride needs a little fixing up, because now you know you'll always be set up for success from the get-go. With eBay Guaranteed Fit, everything your vehicle is calling for is just a click away. For the parts and accessories that fit your vehicle, just look for the green check. Get the right parts, the right fit, the right prices at ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. eBay Guaranteed Fit, only available to U.S. customers. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. Bryce Young, the first overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, had a good day to start his first full session of training camp last Wednesday, where you saw the things that made Bryce, right? You saw the poise in the pocket. You saw the ability to make plays in structure and off script, out of structure. You saw his ability to layer the ball over defenders and throw with touch timing and anticipation. His anticipation is so good. If he has any A trait, it's his anticipation. I know a lot of people call him an elite processor. That was at the college level. You can't call somebody an elite processor at the NFL level until he does it at the NFL level. So processing wise, he's okay. He's okay. I see some good things. I see some bad things. There's some things that you can correct. But he's a rookie, so it's his first time seeing it. But his anticipation is top tier, man. You know what I mean? To be able to see the seven routes, the corner routes, and anticipate that from the pocket and throw with that touch timing and anticipation. The go ball, right? Whether it's the post or the go and fade route, right? The 9 route going vertical, right? He doesn't have the arm to stretch the field like in a pure vertical stretch type of offense, right? He wouldn't work in the Bruce Arians, no risk it, no biscuit. That's what I'm saying. But with his ability to throw the deep ball, it's very Tua Tagovailoa, Mac Jones. It's very Alabama over the last couple of years. What it is, it's anticipating and understanding my guy is gearing up. He's got a step. Let me lay this thing out there for him and let him go underneath and go get it, right? Instead of being able to just, hey, throw it 60, 70 yards on a rope. Yeah, that's not going to be his game. So I think with Bryce, man, you see the good things with him and you appreciate, like, his ability to move in the pocket, right? Just to navigate and use his footwork and be patient, be calm, be poised. And he's not a guy that you see showcase much frustration, even when things go wrong. He's just very even keel. And that's what you want to hear when it pertains to a young quarterback, right? So that part of the game is there for him. Now, that was the first day of practice. Now, he did have a deep throw. He had a post route to Chark that, if I think it was number 25 is Xavier Woods, if I remember correctly. Woods, the safety, is coming back over the top. And truthfully, if that's in game, Woods probably at least lays out DJ Chark and what we call, separate ball from body. So he more than likely does that. Or, in the live game, he probably tried to go for the interception because he was in the vicinity. He was in position to make a play on the ball. But of course, this is the first day of camp. You're not, you're not in pads. So you're practicing like a pro. You're not trying to take out your teammates and things like that. Now, you get to the second day. I wasn't there, but I heard all the reports and read reports that it was very up and down for Bryce in that practice, where the defense got sacks on him. I think he fumbled a snap or handoff. He threw a pick 6 to C.J. Henderson, who's having a pretty good camp. I'm gonna talk about him, as I continue to watch him in camp these next couple of days. He that day was not the best for him, right? And then so Saturday was the NFL's Welcome back. We are back together. Training camp day, and the house was packed full of fans, man. And the Bryce Young effect is real down here in the Carolinas, man. He really is bringing the vibes, and everybody is coming in. Kids, everyone, man. Like everyone's here. They're excited. It's a newfound energy with Bryce Young in the building. And he had an up and down day on Saturday, right? He had a nice deep ball to DJ Chark in one-on-ones where he threw it he threw it low and away, high and away, essentially, right? He threw it away from the defender. It's outside shoulder, outside and away, far and away, and it that kind of a pitching term. And it DJ Chark had a step. Now again, you can nitpick and say, well, the ball died, DP. Yeah, it kind of did, because DJ Chark definitely had a step or two. And this is a fast guy. It's hard to get back in phase with him on the vertical plane. And you of course you think about CJ Stroud, or who has a better arm than Bryce, or Will Levis, who has a better arm than Bryce, and Anthony Richardson. Well, all those guys have better arms. Hendon Hooker, stronger arms, guys who are better at the deep ball, throwing it and pushing it vertically, right? But the ball placement was there. DJ Chark did have to come back, make a ridiculous kind of lean back type of catch, but ball tracking, the ball skills from DJ Chark was on display. It was an immaculate catch. Shout out to DJ Chark, man. DJ Chark did his thing in on that possession and on that rep. But again, you see the good things, and you have to understand any and this is for everybody, man. If you walked in as you're a Carolina Panthers fan and felt like his arm talent was legitimate and the ball doesn't die on him too far downfield and things of that nature, you fooled yourself like that. So then when you see a play like that where the ball's in the throne, you can't really get mad at Bryce because his arm isn't great. It's good enough, but it's not great. So those type of situations, 100%. But what you really like to see from Bryce is getting the ball out quick, guys. We've compared him to a point guard, the Chris Pauls, the Rajon Rondos, right? And just being the ball distributor, distributing the ball to all his weapons, whether it's Hayden Hurst, whether it's Ian Thomas in the flats, right? Whether it's Miles Sanders, Boobie Sanders, man. Or any of the other running backs that are catching the ball out of the backfield. The quick game, him and Adam Thielen have a very strong rapport right now, right? So you think about what they're able to do, and I'm telling you, like, you see it. You see the ability against zone coverage. Listen, if you don't get back there and he can see it quickly, he's gonna get it out quick, and he's gonna make you pay for it now. And he, like I said, he layers the ball very well. Now, again, he had a pick in this practice as well. I think he had two. One was a tremendous play by C.J. Henderson, who I said is having a pretty good camp. C.J. Henderson, it looked like he was beat. He worked. They're talking about playing out of phase. Outstanding job playing out of phase. He played out of phase, got back into phase, turned around, made an incredible one-hand interception. I believe that was in one-on-ones. I think that was Bryce throwing the ball. But I know that Shaq Thompson, the linebacker, they ran what looked like a cover two scheme, with Shaq playing man-to-man. I believe it was on Adam Thielen. And it was on the crosser route. They throw a lot of crossers, a lot of flat routes, and a lot of corner routes and sevens. So, like, he read it. He had his assignment. He ran stride for stride with him. Bryce, I think they just confused Bryce in that situation because that's not something you typically see in college a lot. As a linebacker running with a wide receiver, and he still stride for stride, and he made an outstanding diving interception and took the ball away. And he had some other passes where, again, just the lack of upper echelon arm talent where you can't just drive the throws is precisely or as hard as you'd like. Some plays, I think Shaq Mason also had a pass breakup. Some plays that where tight windows, the linebackers are closing in, and it's a lot faster than college, even though he played in the SEC. So, yeah, there are ups and downs, man, but that's for every rookie quarterback, right? That's just the game. So understand what he is physically, understand what he's not physically, and prepare yourself for those type of plays, for those reps, for the good and the bad, right? But I think that you're going to get a lot of good from Bryce, man. Surgical. I remember talking to DBs about Tua, and that was something that was said about him. And I think with Bryce, you can say that he's surgical as well. So, guys, like I said, I'm going to keep you guys updated on what's going on down in the Carolinas with those Panthers. And, of course, Mingo, TMJ. I'm going to keep you guys updated, man. Icky, all, Vitor Gross models. They got some recently drafted players that they're expecting and hoping to take a step forward. So as camp goes on, and I see more and more things, and pads come on, we get to really see the trench play and things like that. I'll bring some more reports back to you guys. But we want to talk about reporting and everything, padded up, all that good stuff. Man, coach him up. We're talking coach him up. Cam Smith, rookie corner out of South Carolina, keeping it with the Carolinas over with the Miami Dolphins, man. What do they need to do to have him prepared for the 2023 NFL season with Jalen Ramsey gone? I'm going to tell you next on the Locked On NFL Draft Podcast. Coaches, it's on you to get these guys ready to go. Coach them up. Cam Smith, rookie cornerback for the Miami Dolphins out of the University of South Carolina. Man, I love this pick when they selected him on day 2, because I was like, man, having Jalen Ramsey and Xavier Howard, and now you add him, you talk about 3 guys that are athletic, have good wingspan and length in the arms, and they can run with you, but they can also be physical at the line of scrimmage. But unfortunately, during the first week of training camp, Jalen Ramsey went down with, I believe, a torn meniscus. So he's out until December, right? So what does that do? That puts the onus and puts the spotlight for the coaches to get ready and get Cam Smith up to speed, man. Not just get him up to speed, but you want to see him, just take that step in camp and then preseason to be the opposite starting corner. Be the starting corner opposite of Xavier Howard until Jalen Ramsey returns. Now, I will say this. Could this be a blessing in disguise for the Miami Dolphins? You never want to lose an all-pro type of talent like Jalen Ramsey, but when you think about what Cam Smith can do and what you can accomplish as a coach with this young man in year 1 of him playing heavy snaps due to the injury, this really could be a blessing in disguise, where come around to year 2, not even just year 2, this is a team I expect to be in contention for the playoffs. So if they make it to the playoffs and Jalen Ramsey comes back in and he's ready to rock and roll and he's healthy and he's good and rehabbed and he's back to 100% or is close enough to it, now you have a seasoned rookie who's played predominantly of the snaps, right? Seen all the competition, has his tests. He's passed some, he's failed some, but he's ready to go for the postseason, along with Xavier Howard, right? One of the better corners in the NFL, a guy that you just don't want to test too much because he's got the receiver, he got the ball skills of a receiver. And then Jalen Ramsey's back, man, with and you just think about that, right? And you feel good about it if you're a Miami Dolphins fan. So what I want to see in terms of coaching them up, just get him ready, man. Get him prepared. Coach him up in the room, in the training rooms and in the film room. That's the big thing, man. Just so he can learn, right? And getting him up to speed and getting him paired up with Xavier Howard to know and find the tendencies, right? Because what you want to do is find the tendencies of these opposing receivers. Right? Typically, they say when you see a receiver start to adjust his gloves at the line of scrimmage, because he's the number 1 option on that play, and he's getting himself prepared to try and make a play on the ball. So you want to read the receivers, on film, see what they do. You could kind of get those tendencies. Some guys come off the ball kind of lazy when it's a run play, when they know it's a backside run play, and they're not the front side blocker, right? So you know that, hey, he's lollygagging. Either he's not getting the ball or this is a run play. So you want to quickly be able to turn from him and locate the football and then get into the action if it calls for it. So you get teaching them things in the film room that will allow him to have a mental step up or a mental advantage as a rookie, where these veteran receivers can't win the mind games with him. Like, oh, he's a rookie, he don't know what he doesn't know. Nah, not at all. You want him to know what he needs to know, so that then the physical ability. We always talk about this. You want your defenders to read and react and not to think. And when you teach them how to study tape, study NFL receivers, and be a pro cornerback, that's going to help him be able to read and react and not think in the middle of plays, where his eyes are going panning from a receiver to the backfield, and it's a kind of a delayed release from the receiver. He thinking it's run because it's play action. Now your feet stop, and now it's a go ball for 80 yards. And you don't want to put your safeties in that position, man. So I think with this offense that they have is going to put up points. Their defensive front, which Jalen Phillips and those guys are going to get after the passer. Emmanuel Ogbah and Bradley Chubb and so forth and so on, and Christian Wilkinson, go Tigers, everything like that, man. At the end of the day, I truly believe that they are set up. This young man could be in a situation where he gets enough pressure from the front lines that can make the quarterbacks make quicker decisions. And he's an athlete, man. He's an athlete. He can run with the best of them for the most part, but he's really athletic. He's tough. He brings that physicality. He's gritty. So you want to teach him patience. You want to teach him pace as a cornerback, how to truly read receivers, stems and movements, understanding, hey, the hip, listen, torsos don't move, man, but hips will lie to you. You feel me? Hips will lie to you from receivers. They'll do all the dancing, the twisting, and turning, but that cord, it never moves. So you read they always say read the cord down, from the chest down to the core, right to the belly button. It's not gonna move. So just kind of teach him the things that he needs to know, and I think if they do a good job with that. Keep his confidence up. But he's a confident young man anyway. But just keep his confidence up, even if he does. Teach him short-term memory as a corner is the best thing for you. If you give up a touchdown, in the last drive, doesn't mean that you can't get a pick six on the next. Okay, so you want to get him where he needs to be, and I think that they'll do a good job. I think the coaching staff will do a good job, and he's just a really talented corner, and he has enough veterans on that secondary and on that defense that can help him come along as well, guys. So coach him up. Cam Smith, rookie cornerback out of the University of South Carolina for those Miami Dolphins. Fins up, or however the thing is. I know it's fins up. I don't know if that was the – disregard that, okay? Just disregard that. But guys, that's our show, man. I had a great time talking ball with y'all as always. Like I said, I'm solo dolo by myself this Tuesday, but it's all good. It's all good. We had a great time. Like I said, we're talking about coaching them up. Cam Smith, rookie cornerback for the Miami Dolphins. Bryce Young's the first overall pick for the Carolina Panthers. His ups and downs in camps, why you should, understand what he is and not be too worried about some of the things that you already knew what he can't change physically, right? But he's going to be a good player for you. And of course, did I buy in? Am I buying into the hype of Justyn Ross and Rashee Rice for those Kansas City Chiefs? Stamp it. Dame's approval. The hype is bought. And listen, if I'm fooled, then I'm just fooled. Okay. I don't care. I love Justyn Ross coming out, even with the injuries. I felt like he could still, if he could be healthy, could be a player. And we're starting to see that now. So, guys, listen, as always, man, go subscribe and follow for free on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts to get the latest episode as soon as it's available on YouTube. Subscribe, like, comment, hit the bell notification so you are notified whenever we drop an episode or any type of content on this channel. For the audio side, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you name it, you have it, whatever it is. Go subscribe, download, hit on automatic download so it automatically comes to your phone whenever we drop these podcasts, guys. But also, leave a 5-star review and share it with a friend, guys. Continue to help let's build up this show and have a great 2023 NFL and college football season. Okay, let's have a great time. We're gonna get into more training camp tomorrow. We're gonna kind of keep some updates going. Look at the spotlight for the running backs and different things like that. Talk with Keith. We're gonna bring some more content to you, and that is a for sure fact. But in terms of Twitter, you can find me, Damian Parson, DP_NFL. Keith isn't here, but you can find him at The Talent Code. Talk to us because we do talk back. Come and join the conversation again tomorrow on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.